Vincent Van Gogh, born on March 30, 1853, in the quiet village of Zunder in the Netherlands, is remembered today as one of the most extraordinary painters in history. Yet, his life was anything but serene. Though he devoted only 10 years to art, in that short span, he created over 100 works, more than 860 oil paintings, alongside countless drawings and sketches. His style, instantly recognizable, is marked by bold, impassioned brushstrokes and brilliant, almost electric colors, reflecting the intensity of a mind that felt everything profoundly. Before becoming the painter we revere today, Vincent's life was a journey through uncertainty, struggle, and unfulfilled ambitions. He tried many paths, working in an art company, teaching, serving as a pastor, and even taking on missionary work, but none gave him a sense of true purpose. It wasn't until he was 27 that Vincent made a life-altering decision to dedicate himself entirely to art, a choice that would forever change the course of his existence. Vincent Willem van Gogh entered the world as the firstborn of Theodorus van Gogh, a devout pastor, and Anna Cornelia Carbentus, a mother with a quiet love for art. He was named after an older brother who had died just a year before his birth, a fact that seemed to mark his life with an early shadow of fate and tragedy. Growing up in a household steeped in religion and moral discipline, young Vincent often felt like an outsider. Though naturally drawn to nature and art, he struggled to fit the mold expected by his family. His parents, while loving, were strict and sometimes distant in their understanding of his passions. Vincent's childhood was a mix of curiosity, observation, and a yearning to find a place in the world where his talents could matter. Even as a boy, he would wander the countryside, captivated by the landscapes, the play of light across fields, and the rhythm of daily life in Zunder. These early impressions would later pulse vividly through his artwork. Vincent's early adulthood was marked by exploration and trial. At 16, he began working for Goupil, CA, an art dealership, first in The Hague and later in London and Paris. Surrounded by the art world, he handled masterpieces and absorbed the atmosphere of galleries, but he found no fulfillment. Handling art was not the same as creating it, and by 1876, he left the company, feeling a restlessness that would define his life. Not content with commercial work, Vincent turned to teaching and religious service. In 1879, he traveled to the Borinage region in Belgium, living as a missionary among impoverished miners. He devoted himself to helping the poor, enduring harsh conditions, and experiencing life on the margins of society. Though he brought relief and hope to others, he still felt a deep sense of dissatisfaction. It was clear to him that the path he sought, one that would allow him to express his inner world, had not yet been found. It was in 1880, at the age of 27, that Vincent made a bold and decisive leap. He would devote himself entirely to art. With encouragement and financial support from his beloved brother Theo, he began intensive study of drawing and painting, immersing himself in the craft with a fervor matched only by his inner intensity. The years that followed were a whirlwind of creation. Despite a career lasting barely more than a decade, he produced around 100 works. His brushstrokes were vigorous and uncompromising, his colors vivid, often chosen to reflect emotion rather than realism. Works like The Starry Night, Sunflowers, and Irises were not simply paintings, they were the language of his soul, each stroke carrying the weight of longing, joy, despair, and hope. In 1888, Vincent moved to Arles in southern France, dreaming of establishing an artist community. He envisioned a place where painters could live, share, and inspire one another. He invited Paul Gauguin to join him. Initially, there was camaraderie, a sense of shared purpose, but their differences were too stark. Van Gogh, passionate and impulsive, clashed with Gauguin's structured, contemplative approach. On a bitter December night, under the weight of anxiety and emotional turmoil, Vincent's suffering erupted in a dramatic act. He cut off a portion of his left ear, bandaging the wound and delivering the ear to a local woman. He left behind a scene of horror and fascination. The incident shocked the town of Arles and became emblematic of the struggle between brilliance and torment in the artist's life, a tragic act that symbolized the depth of his inner pain, yet also his extraordinary sensitivity to the world around him. After Arles, Vincent voluntarily admitted himself to St. Paul de Moselle Psychiatric Hospital in St. Remy de Provence. There, amid ongoing mental anguish, he continued to paint relentlessly. The Starry Night emerged during this period, a masterpiece of swirling skies and radiant stars over a serene village. capturing both the turbulence of his mind and the wonder he saw in the universe. Irises and countless other works from this period reveal a delicate balance between observation, emotion, and the profound solace he found in nature. Vincent Van Gogh's art is a vivid record of a life lived intensely. The Starry Night depicts a dynamic, swirling night sky above a quiet village, expressing both his isolation and the profound beauty he perceived in the world. Sunflowers radiates warmth, energy, and life, celebrating nature while echoing the bond with his supportive brother Theo. Irises conveys the elegance and vitality of each flower, rendered with strokes that are simultaneously meticulous and free, reflecting both precision and passion. Every painting is a window into his emotional world, revealing a man who saw life deeply and felt it even more intensely. His work transcends time, touching viewers across generations with its unfiltered intensity and emotional honesty. On July 29, 1890, at just 37 years old, Vincent Van Gogh passed away, a life cut short by mental anguish and poverty. During his lifetime, he struggled with recognition and endured profound loneliness, as revealed in his letters to Theo. Yet, through these struggles, he created a legacy that would endure forever. His death did not diminish the impact of his work. On the contrary, it illuminated the eternal resonance of his art. The Starry Night, sunflowers, and irises became symbols of modern artistic expression, demonstrating that true art is born not just of skill, but of passion, suffering, and the courage to express one's innermost self. Vincent Van Gogh's life is a testament to the enduring power of creativity, inspiring artists and admirers around the world, and reminding us that art's vitality comes from the heart as much as from the hand.